Anjelica Huston, we don't have a problem, is an American actress, director, producer, author, and former fashion model. Huston was the third generation of her family to receive an Academy Award when she won Best Supporting Actress for her performance in 1985's Prizzi's honor. She joined her father, director John Huston, and grandfather, actor Walter Huston, in gaining this recognition. She received Academy Award nominations for her performances in Enemies, A Love Story, and The Grifters for Best Supporting Actress and Best Actress, respectively. Huston earned BAFTA nominations for her work in 2 films directed by Woody Allen, Crimes and Misdemeanors and Manhattan Murder Mystery. She received acclaim for her portrayal of the Grand High Witch in the 1990 film adaptation of Roald Dahl's The Witches, and earned 2 Golden Globe nominations for starring as Morticia Addams in The Addams Family and its sequel, Addams Family Values. In the 21st century, she had frequently worked with director Wes Anderson. Their collaborations have included The Royal Tenenbaums, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, and The Darjeeling Limited. On television, Huston has had recurring roles on Huff, Medium, and Transparent. She won a Gracie Award for her portrayal of Eileen Rand on SMASH. Huston made her directorial debut with the 1996 film Bastard Out of Carolina. This was followed by Agnes Brown, in which she also starred. She has written 2 memoirs, A Story Lately Told and Watch Me.
Early life. Huston was born in 1951 in Santa Monica, California, the daughter of director and actor John Huston and prima ballerina and model Enrica Soma. Huston's paternal grandfather was Canadian-born actor Walter Huston. Huston has Scottish, Scotch-Irish, English and Welsh ancestry from her father, and Italian from her mother. Her father became an Irish citizen in 1964. She spent much of her childhood with him in Ireland, which she still considers home, particularly near Crawwell, County Galway. She attended school at Kilmore Abbey. Huston later lived in England, where she attended Holland Park School. Huston has a complex family because of her parents' multiple marriages. She has an older brother, Tony, and an adopted older brother, Pablo. She has a younger maternal half-sister named Allegra, whom she called Legs, and a younger paternal half-brother, actor Danny Huston. She is the aunt of actor Jack Huston. In the late 1960s, Huston began taking a few small roles in movies directed by her father. She began other small roles too. Her hands were substituted for Deborah Kerr's in the British Casino Royale. In 1969 she starred in A Walk with Love and Death, where she played the 16-year-old French noblewoman Claudia opposite Arsi-Dayan. Huston had been in the running to play Juliet in Franco Zeffirelli's Romeo and Juliet, but her father decided to cast her in A Walk with Love and Death. She had been reluctant to perform in that. On set she clashed with her father, and critics derided her performance. That year, her mother died in a car accident, at the age of 39. The young Huston relocated to the United States, where she modeled for several years. While modeling, she worked with photographers such as Richard Avedon and Bob Richardson. In the early 1970s, Huston, with Pat Cleveland, Pat Ast, Elsa Peretti, Karen Bjornsson, Alva Chin, and others, became one of fashion designer Huston's favored troupe of models, nicknamed the Halstonettes. Career. Acting career. Huston studied acting in the early 1980s after deciding to focus more on films. Her first notable role was in Bob Raffelson's remake of The Postman Always Rings Twice, 1981. Later, her father cast her as Melrose, daughter of a mafia don whose love is scorned by a hitman, Jack Nicholson, in the film adaptation of Richard Condon's mafia satire novel Prizzi's Honor, 1985. Huston won the Best Supporting Actress Oscar for her performance, making her the first person in Academy Award history to win an Oscar when a parent and a grandparent had also won one. She also earned a Best Actress Oscar nomination for her portrayal of a con artist in Stephen Frears' The Grifters, 1990. She starred as the lead in her father's final directorial film, The Dead, 1987, an adaptation of a James Joyce story. She was then cast as Morticia Addams in the hugely successful 1991 movie adaptation of The Addams Family. In 1993, she reprised the role for the sequel Addams Family Values, and also played Lainey Eberlin, a mother struggling to parent her autistic child. in the ABC miniseries Family Pictures. Both roles garnered her Golden Globe nominations for Best Actress in a Motion Picture Comedy or Musical in Miniseries or Television Film, respectively. Huston collaborated twice with director Woody Allen on his films Crimes and Misdemeanors, 1989, and Manhattan Murder Mystery, 1993, both of which earned her BAFTA nominations for Best Supporting Actress. She also starred in the 1998 Hollywood blockbuster Ever After, a Cinderella story alongside Drew Barrymore and Melanie Lynskey as the Baroness Rodmiller de Ghent. She starred in 2 Wes Anderson films, The Royal Tenenbaums, 2001, and The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, 2004, as well as appearing in a minor role in 2007's The Darjeeling Limited. She voiced the role of Queen Clarion in the Disney Fairies film series starring Tinker Bell. Huston received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on January 22, 2010. In 2011, Huston was in the film Horrid Henry, the movie. Huston later appeared on the NBC television series Smash as Broadway producer Eileen Rand. In 2015 and 2016, Huston appeared in the 2nd and 3rd seasons of the Amazon video series Transparent. In 2019, she appeared in a supporting role as the director in John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum. Directing career. Huston has followed in her father's footsteps in the director's chair. Her first directorial credit was Bastard Out of Carolina, 1996, followed by Agnes Brown, 1999, in which she both directed and starred, and then Riding the Bus with My Sister, 2005. For over 20 years, Huston has been developing a film project on Maud Gonne and William Butler Yeats. During a visit to the National Library of Ireland in 2010 to look through the Yeats collection, Huston said that she was still developing the project. Activism. Huston led a letter campaign organized by the U.S. Campaign for Burma and Human Rights Action Center in November 2007. The letter, signed by over 25 high-profile individuals from the entertainment business, was addressed to the United Nations Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon and urged him to personally intervene to secure the release of Nobel Peace Prize recipient Aung San Suu Kyi of Burma. Huston currently sits on the Advisory Council of Save the Chimps, the largest chimp sanctuary and rescue in history. Huston has narrated the educational video Save the Chimps History, exposing the cruelty of chimpanzee abuse by laboratories, entertainment and the NASA program Monkeys and Apes in Space, which sent primates into space, often resulting in death by impact and explosion. In 1995, Huston donated $500 to the Irish Republican political party Sinn Féin. She has also attended Sinn Féin events and supported Martin McGuinness in his bid for the presidency of Ireland in 2011. In December 2012, Huston recorded a public service announcement for PETA urging her colleagues in Hollywood to refrain from using great apes in television, films, and advertisements. The animal rights organization subsequently named her their Person of the Year 2012. In 2018, she donated her fur coats to the homeless and animal shelters. Personal life. In her 2014 book A Story Lately Told, Huston refers to a sexual relationship with actor James Fox when she was a teenager. In 1969, at age 18, Huston began dating photographer Bob Richardson, who was 23 years her senior. Their relationship lasted almost 4 years. She met Jack Nicholson in 1973 and they lived together, on and off, from that year until 1990, when the media reported he had fathered a child with Rebecca Broussard. During a split with Nicholson in the late 1970s, Huston dated Ryan O'Neal, who allegedly assaulted her. Huston was an inadvertent witness in the Roman Polanski sexual abuse case in March 1977, when she encountered Polanski and his 13-year-old victim by chance in the home of her then-boyfriend Jack Nicholson. When authorities searched the house in connection to the accusations against Polanski, Huston was arrested for cocaine possession, but she was never charged because the search and seizure of her handbag had been illegal. Although she had witnessed no abuse, Huston was subsequently embroiled in the publicity surrounding Polanski's trial as a rumored witness for the prosecution, though she was not ultimately called. On May 23, 1992, Huston married sculptor Robert Graham. The couple lived in a 3-story house, designed by Graham, at 69 Windward Avenue in Venice, California, until his death on December 27, 2008. She does not have any children. Huston wrote her memoirs as one 900-page book, but she split it into 2 books at her publisher's urging. She was a close friend of actor Gregory Peck, whom her father directed in Moby Dick, 1956. The two first met on the set of the film when she was 4 years old while Peck was in costume as Captain Ahab. Decades later, after her father's death, Huston reunited with Peck and maintained a friendship that lasted until his death. Huston's home went on the market for $18 million in 2010, but initially failed to sell. In September 2012, the New York Post reported that Huston was planning to transform her house into a private social club. The actress was said to have accepted $12 million for the property and to serve on the advisory board for a new private club to be based there. In April 2014, Huston sold the house for $11.15 million. Filmography: film, television, bibliography, books, critical studies, reviews and biography. Awards and nominations.